Thank you very much. So I'd like to share my screen, everyone. A very good morning, and also maybe some of you good afternoon, and also good evening. Thank you for the invitations from TVET as well as the UNESCO Unit Network here for this opportunity to share. So I'm working at the SEAMEO Voctech, which is regional center, as mentioned by Dr. Surin Yun, that we are having 11 member countries from Southeast Asia, so ASEAN +1 plus Timor-Leste. So we are providing services in terms of capacity building as well as research and also information sharing to the member countries as well as beyond the members.
Sorry, so, Dr. Paryono, could you extend the slide to full screen?
Yes, I will.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. So again, the topic of my presentation here, given the 15 minutes, is on the use of innovative technologies in TVET. And this is again based on the case study that we have at SEAMEO Voctech, because again, we try to assess the member countries with different level of development. So of course, our technology also reflect the needs to match basically the requirements from the member countries. My presentation will be around these 6 topics. One is technology integration in education. This one is more focused on the use of technology, because when we talk about innovative, we can be innovative in using technology, but also we can also select technology that is considered innovative. So the first one is more on the use, because sometimes the existing technologies, if we cannot use it effectively, is also unfortunate if we cannot adopt it. Secondly is technology as important components of TVET. And for this, we would like to share with you the framework that SEAMEO Voctech is developing. This one, we're planning to assess the readiness of TVET institution in the region, in the 11 member countries, in response to IA 4.0. So I'll share the framework, and hopefully that if any countries are interested to participate in this research, we also would like to welcome. The next one is the innovative technologies for TVET. So what have been happening in the center, I will share on the good practices, number 4. And then we would like also to share about the pedagogy, because as most of us are trainers, teachers, I think it's good for us to discuss in terms of how, what kind of pedagogy is suitable for teaching in this technologically rich environments, and then conclusion and recommendations. So with the time that I have, let me just start with my first presentations. I think some of you may be familiar with this diagram or framework. This has been developed by UNESCO Bangkok at that time, and then followed by certain experts to continue discussing. And so SEAMEO Voctech use this platform again to assess the level of adoption or integrations of technology in education, especially in TVET, in tactical vocational education and training. So there are 2 things that we need to look at here. Number 1 is the technology. Number 2 is the pedagogy. Because integration in TVET institutions without integrating pedagogy, it becomes, we kind of missing the point. Technology exists. Technology can be very innovative, but if we do not know how to use it for teaching and learning, then also will create a kind of less benefit to our students. So in this case, this platform or this framework can be used to assess the level of integrations of ICT in education, starting from maybe some of the schools who are maybe still in remote areas. Maybe they haven't even begin with the technology integrations. And then the next level is emerging, and then applying, infusing, and transforming. And we hope that institution can go to the next level, which is inventing. How can we continue inventing the technology? How can we continue innovating the way we use the technology for teaching and learning? So there are descriptors that we can look at. I can say then the next one here, basically these are the criteria or the variables to be assessed inside those framework, the vision, the learning pedagogy, the development plan and policies, facilities and resources, understanding of the curriculum, professional development, community, and assessment. So those components is used to assess with a different level depending on the state of integrations. You can see here the more detailed one. You can see these are basically the details. You may download this, is available on the internet. we would like to see in terms of how far have been any school integrating this ICT in education. We can look at this. But the idea of innovative use of technology is that we would like, again, to continue pushing to the next level. Hopefully, we'll continue innovating the technology. And at the same time, also, we innovate the use of technology for teaching and learning. But for the details, I think you may refer to this. For this time, we don't have time to go to the details. And at this moment, SEAMEO Voctech, in collaboration with researchers from the 11 member countries, we are developing, we call it vocational education 4.0 pillars. So in here, we use this framework to develop instruments, which is a survey, as well as some instrument for observation, as well as for focus group discussions, looking into these 3 pillars. We would like to assess at what level the TVET institution in the regions ready in response to the IR 4.0 requirements. So there are 3 main building blocks: the process, technology, and organizations. In the process, we will look at in terms of the level of adoption in the curriculum content, whether the curriculum is in response to IR 4.0, stakeholder engagement, how far are we working with private sectors, for example. So this also will be one of the criteria. Teaching, learning, and assessment, called under pedagogy. So these 3, the next one, we have the 3 building blocks, and then we have the 8 pillars. And the second one is technology. So this is the one that I think for today very relevant to talk, because when we look at the readiness of TVET institutions for IR 4.0, we cannot avoid looking into the technology. So what are we looking at the technology? We look at the facility, we look at the intelligence, and we look at the connectivity, and how ready are, or what is the status of the TVET institutions in this manner. The next one is organizations. In here, we're looking at the structure and management, and then also looking at the talent readiness. You can see some of the components that right now we are developing the dimensions, that we're in the process of working with all of the researchers from the 11 countries to finalize this framework. And then after that, we will use to assess the level of readiness of TVET institutions. So I think, this is an exciting journey, and hopefully that the research will run smoothly. And if any country interested, you may also contact us and to be part of this. And when we talk about innovative technologies, as stated, this is the topic of the presentations. What we mean by innovative technologies? There are a few definitions. So when we talk about innovative technologies, can means that technologies that enhance transfer of learning, especially skill transfer through hands-on activities. When we talk about TVET, transfer of learning is not only transferring knowledge, but more importantly is transferring skills. And this is the one that we are facing, and they're quite challenging, because it's not easy to transfer skills, especially during COVID, using online, that is very, very challenging. So maybe we will share some of these innovative technologies. This is the first definition. The second one is that technologies that can offer specific alternate experiences, distant communications, connections, and collaboration. So also have the characteristic of being flexible and also mobile, as well as providing access. So these are another kind of definition or scope of innovative technologies that we will consider. The next one, technologies considered innovative if they offer rich, deeper, and new learning, thus encourage and improve engagement and motivation, self-reliant and inquiry, and interactive and collaborations, personalization, and innovations. So these are, again, a list of characteristics, list of requirements for us to call any technology is considered innovative. And I think this is just, I think previously our presenters also shared in terms of different level of development of technology. So we have the first order innovation. You can see some of the technology existing. And then right now, the second order, I think we include here in terms of the AR, VR, mixed reality, metaverse, simulations. These are the one right now, in a way, is kind of exists around us. But now, how can we utilize? How can we use this technology existing for us to improve the transfer of learning, especially when we try to transfer skills? So imagining if we are training our students in technical skills, I think we need to follow like the example of the training pilot. You know, pilot cannot, or maybe right now, they normally wouldn't allow the students pilot to go inside the cockpit and pilot the airplane. So first we need to go for simulations. So the same thing for teaching TVET on the skills. I think it is very effective and efficient if we provide opportunity for our students to work in the kind of virtual setting, in animations or using some simulations, and then after they master some skill, then they can really use the the real equipment in the laboratory or in the workshop. So I think we emulate that kind of model. So start with a lot of practices in the virtual world, and then after that they practice in the real world, because many TVET activities are happening in the field. So we cannot just continue working in the virtual, but also we need to work in the reality. And this are, I think, some of the considerations in terms of the way we think, in terms of different level of mixed reality here. So we talk about virtual reality. So in this case, for large system or dangerous areas, talking about fire, if you work as a fireman or fire person, we cannot just let them use and then go to the, the area where it's very dangerous. So it's good for them to use virtual reality to experience how to use the equipment and how to do the job. And also we can use augmented reality pairing with equipment, so that at the end they can have a good understanding by using augmented reality as well as the equipment that we can use. We can start from the pre-lab, which is in the simulations using 2D or 3D. And then after they master that skill, we can go to the practical hands-on in the workshop. So these are the idea, the concept that we are adopting at this moment. And at the end, from this, we will develop our sharing experience here. So in the SEAMEO Voctech, at this moment, we are developing these resources. And some of these are open for anyone, because we are regional center assisting the member countries. So we have the TVET .NET learning. So in here, you could see some of the online resources, especially those maybe you are more interested on the technical training, technical courses. And we have under Smart TVET Lab, we have two types. We have the physical lab, because as you know that in this region, not all countries have a good internet connections, and not all of them have kind of sophisticated computers. So we have the mobile lab. So using mobile lab, we can train in a way online, but by bringing the equipment in the area. I think this is quite innovative. So we can bring equipment in a box with some, I think we have like 20 iPads inside, and then we have router there, and then we can ask the students to open the iPad and we can teach the technical, but not using the real equipment, but using the animation that we have developed inside here. I think also mentioned by Dr. Yang earlier that in order for us to develop this, it's impossible for like SEAMEO Voctech or TVET institution to develop our own. We need to collaborate with industry. So in here, the first one, we collaborate with one of the industry company, LabTech. We work with them to develop, you can see here, we have 50 modules in air conditioning. We have 41 modules in electrical. We work with them and develop this simulation that students can see, they can disassemble, they can assemble components by playing around this digital tools. The second one is online learning that they can access, but this one has to be accessed online. You can see we have more than 400 courses. And the second one here, we collaborate with Festo Didactic. So we just like to share with you that this we have developed, and you may also try to look at it and access it. Some of them we provide it for free. Some with certain certification we offer with a small fee, because it's again a regional center. And this is just an example of the platform. If you visit the CVET.net, you could see that there are under, here, there is CVET Learning. We have the Voctech EduNet, we have Training Marketplace. So the Training Marketplace basically is the training that we offer together with our industry partners. So here on the Training Marketplace, we have SEAMEO Voctech LabTech Academy. So inside here, we can see all of these courses in air conditioning, in automotive. You can see, some of them are free, you can access directly. And then festo-didactic, we have it there. And we have also directly, you may visit LabTech International. These are the page that you may see in terms of what you see inside the platform. And these are the components, the courses that we offer. So main component here is the LMS as well as the digital content. And then you can see these are the component, the content inside. So we have the background theory, we can read in the website, we can part and description, you can split, you can look at different components, animation, simulation videos, you can look at it inside. And then we have the assessment at the end, but we haven't produced the one that you discussed earlier about micro-credential. So hopefully soon we can issue the micro-credential after completing certain course. This is the development. You can see in terms of the equipment that this is the mobile lab that you can bring anywhere we go, even though there is no internet, even though there is no electricity, we can conduct this training anywhere, anytime. So I think it's very, very fortunate we have this. And then this is one that need to be accessed online. And this one with festo-didactic, many courses, more than 400 kind of interactive online courses that we can access. And I think the benefits, I don't have to share with everyone because it's very, self-explanatory. If we do that training using the smart lab, for example, there's a lot of things that we can benefit from: cost saving, quick learning, competency, increase student output, and so on and so forth. So just leave it to you to list this down, considering the time. And this is in more pedagogy, because technology is not accompanied by pedagogy will be in a way not worthless but less meaningful. So we need to see in terms of how can we teach right now with the current technology that we have in the digitalization. So we need to move on from the lecture based to the project based, or we can call it as a learn and work assignments. These are the new way of teaching, and hopefully that we can integrate this. I think some of us familiar with TPCK, technological pedagogical content knowledge. So meaning that we develop certain content, we need to see what kind of technology we are having, what kind of content we are delivering, and as well as what kind of pedagogy is suitable for that. So and these three we need to consider at the same time. I think for pedagogy, considering the time, I think I just want to make it very quick. I think, everyone aware of in terms of how we can teach using project-based, and how can we create students to be more self-reliant. And with the technology, I think possible for us to come up with that. And this is the fourth step in terms of moving from the very teacher-centered to training center, so that at the end, in the very rich environment, we still can teach effectively. And we produce a book that maybe you can, this is also free for everyone to download, the Fit for IA 4.0. I give you the list of references at the end. You can download this book, so that at the end we know in terms of how to teach in this digital, what you call it, in the rich environment that we are facing at this moment. But again, considering the time, I just go, so we can move from here. This is the traditional 4 steps in training TVET. Prepare and explain, do explain, let them do and explain, practice, practice. This is the old model, still happening at this moment. But we are hoping that right now we are moving from this step to use the more project-based and problem-based, the self-reliant learning. Those are the next directions that we are introducing. So conclusions, I think technologies happening around us, but again, we need to be able to use it in order for us to transfer, especially on the hands-on skills. Many ways of integrating technologies in teaching and learning. We should continue aiming for higher adoption. Remember the level until the transformation. So hopefully that we continue adopting technology using the higher level of adoption. Pedagogy, technologies, and content must be aligned to achieve higher learning. And the suggestion or recommendation that I would like to offer to everyone here, if we work in the TVET institutions, continue exploring technologies around us and tweak and upgrade, because it's very expensive for us if we continue buying the new equipment. But we need to be able to use it, to tweak, to upgrade so that at the end we can go to the next level of digitalization. The next one is again the importance of linking pedagogy, technology, content, and knowledge. So it's important because all of this is interconnected. And then we are hoping that the way we teach later on will provide more empowerment to our students to be more self-directed, self-reliant in this fast-changing technology. So the recommendation is that the teaching learning method must be able to prepare them to be self-directed and self-reliant learners. So maybe that's my conclusion and presentation. Thank you very much, Dr. Surinyun, for the time. Thank you, everyone.